Let's talk about burnout. Not that I need a holiday kind of tired, but that deep, creeping exhaustion that makes the small tasks feel enormous. That kind that saps your energy, your motivation, and your joy. It's something I see all too often in my GP consultations. People running on empty, trying to keep going, hoping that no one notices that they're close to crumbling. Now, if this sounds familiar, you're not alone. Burnout is more than just a feeling of being frazzled. The World Health Organization defines it as a syndrome conceptualized as resulting from chronic workspace stress that has not been successfully managed. But it doesn't have to be work alone, as juggling parenting, caring responsibilities, financial pressures, or simply living through uncertain times can all take a toll. Key signs to look out for include constant fatigue, even after rest, feeling detached or cynical, difficulty concentrating, loss of motivation, increased irritability or emotional outbursts, changes in sleep or appetite. Now, if you're nodding along, it might be time to pause and consider how you're really doing. We often treat our emotional well-being like it's a luxury, something that we'll get round to after the to-do list is done. But the truth is that prioritizing mental health isn't selfish, it's essential. Just like you wouldn't expect your car to run on fumes, you can't expect yourself to thrive without refueling regularly. So, where do we start? 1. Master the basics of self-care. Self-care gets a bad rap sometimes. It's reduced to scented candles and spa days. And lovely as those are, real self-care is about meeting your basic needs like sleep, nutrition, movement, connection. Sleep. Aim for 7 to 9 hours a night. Sleep is the foundation of everything. Even one bad night can really impact your mood, memory, and ability to cope with stress. Eat regularly. Fuel your brain with slow-release carbohydrates, proteins, and healthy fats. A handful of biscuits at 4 p.m. is doing you no favours. Move your body. You don't need to run a marathon, but a brisk walk, a 10-minute stretch, a dance in the kitchen. Anything that gets you moving can lift your mood by increasing your endorphins and reducing your stress hormones. Connect with others. We're social creatures. Call a friend, say yes to that coffee, join a group chat. Loneliness can be a huge contributor to poor mental health. 2. Set boundaries. If you're constantly saying yes when you mean no, it's no wonder that you feel drained. Setting boundaries is one of the most powerful tools you have. It might feel awkward at first, especially if you're used to people pleasing, but it is worth it. There are a few ways that you can try this. So firstly, I always recommend saying, let me get back to you before you commit to anything that you're not sure about. Secondly, I advise ring fencing some time in your calendar that's just for you. Finally, turning off notifications outside working hours can be incredibly empowering and give you a lot of time back. Remember that protecting your time and your energy isn't rude, it's responsible. 3. Spot the stresses early. We can't always avoid stress, but we can get better at noticing when it's starting to build. Try keeping a simple stress diary. Jot down what triggered your stress, how you felt, and how you responded. And over time, patterns will emerge and you'll be better placed to manage or avoid those triggers. When you're doing your daily check-in with yourself, it can help as a prompt to ask these 3 simple questions. How am I feeling today? What do I need more of? What do I need less of? Awareness is that first step towards change. 4. Practice mindfulness. Mindfulness doesn't have to mean silent retreats or complex breathing routines. At its core, it's about being present, so tuning in rather than zoning out. And research has shown that mindfulness can reduce symptoms of anxiety, depression, and stress. So to begin practicing mindfulness, you can try focusing on one activity at a time. For example, make a cup of tea, but really make the tea. So notice the warmth, the smell, the steam. Mindfulness can also take the shape of grounding techniques. So when you're anxious, you can try a method that I recommend called the 5-4-3-2-1 grounding technique, where you engage your senses to bring attention to 5 things that you can see, 4 that you can touch, 3 that you can hear, 2 that you can smell, and 1 that you can taste. If you respond better to being guided through mindfulness, you can use apps like Headspace or Calm to help guide you through these short and more manageable sessions. 5. Start a gratitude practice. Gratitude doesn't mean ignoring the tough stuff. It means making space to also notice the good. Keeping a gratitude journal or simply noting 3 things that went well each day can improve mood and boost resilience. One study even found it could improve sleep and lower blood pressure. Now, they don't have to be big gestures. You can start small, like, I had a cup of tea whilst it was still hot, or my child gave me a cuddle, or I remembered to take my lunch out of the fridge. Tiny wins count. When to seek help. If you're feeling overwhelmed despite your best efforts, please don't suffer in silence. Burnout and poor mental health are not a sign of weakness. Speak to your GP. Reach out to a therapist or consider calling a helpline like Mind or Samaritans. Mental Health Awareness Month is the perfect time to pause and prioritise yourself. You don't need to overhaul your entire life. Just start with one small step today and keep going. Because your mental health matters, not just in May, but every day.